Hi, my name is Alina. Do you know how to lose everything in one day? This is my story about betrayal, about a terrible diagnosis, and how I managed to live on. After university, I was going to get married and live happily ever after, but things didn't go according to plan. So, at 23, I graduated from university. My boyfriend and I were going to get married and move to another country. I wanted to get a degree and build a career there. We had already completed all the documents and were going to go to the registry office the other day. My future husband and all his relatives treated me very well. They were always interested in how I was doing and were literally grateful that I was marrying their son. But sometimes, I thought they looked at me with a kind of pity. Yes, I only now understand that even then, I should have been wary. Meanwhile, Eric and I were preparing the documents. And you probably know that to enter a foreign university, you need to pass an HIV test. I went to the center to get tested. I hate injections, but this time it went well. I was told that the results will be ready in a couple of days. I put a notification on my cell phone so I wouldn't forget and ran on with my business. A few days later, I returned to the center and took the queue. Eric sent me all sorts of memes so I wouldn't get bored. And then a nurse came up to me. "Hello, are you Alina?" she asked me. I was a little confused and said, "Yes, it's me." This woman invited me to a private office. We went in, and she closed the door and gave me a glass of water. What strange rituals they have here, I thought. Alina, now HIV is not such a terrible disease. People with this diagnosis live quietly and create families. She talked for a long time. I didn't really understand why I needed all this information. At one point, she was silent for a couple of minutes, and then she looked me in the eye and said, "Alina, you have HIV. What? What did you say? Is this a joke? If so, it's not funny." "Don't worry," she said. "It's not over yet." Then she said something else, but I wasn't listening. Everything was a blur. In an instant, all my plans, all my desires, and my future fell into the abyss and shattered into small pieces. I thought it was a bad dream. I don't even remember what happened next or how I got home. Eric met me and asked, "What's wrong with you, my love?" "I have HIV. I managed to say. "Oh no, did I infect you? I thought it would be all right," Eric replied. I was in such a stupor at that moment. I don't even know how to describe my feelings to you. I got really hysterical. "What did you just say? So you had HIV and you didn't even tell me about it? What a freak you are! Go away! I don't want to see you! Get out!" I shouted. I certainly didn't expect such a betrayal. Now I understand why his parents were so grateful and looked at me with pity. They knew I was infected even then. God, my whole world, all the people I loved were vile traitors. I didn't want to see them again. I started to have depression. I began to get drunk, didn't go to work, quarreled with all my friends, didn't communicate with my family, locked myself in an apartment, didn't eat anything, and thought only that my life was over. I have no idea how long I'd been sobbing on the floor like that, maybe a month, maybe more. I woke up sobbing when someone broke into my apartment. I barely got up, opened the door, and there was my mother. She was crying and screaming, asking what happened to me. Why am I missing? Why I don't answer my phone? I didn't know what to say to her. "Mom, I have HIV. You should have seen my mother's face. I probably looked the same when I was told about my diagnosis. "Is that all? I thought you were killed or kidnapped. Oh, you're my stupid fool," my mother said and hugged me tightly, and we cried together. "You know this isn't the end, right? People live, work, and give birth to children with this diagnosis. In the 21st century, it's not so scary." Then she took me to a special center where people like me were diagnosed with HIV. There I met some talented guys. Artists, journalists, athletes, couples in love, all had HIV, but they were happy. These people said that their lives changed dramatically when they learned about the diagnosis. They also got depressed and did not know how to live on, but then realized that life goes on. They really inspired me back then. Now I have a job, I continued my studies as I wanted, and I have a boyfriend. I met him at the support center. Now we are helping other people with HIV. We explain that you can live with this diagnosis and be truly happy. If you meet a person with this disease, you should know that you are free to talk to them, eat from shared dishes, shake hands, and hug. Write in the comments whether you would be friends with such a person or build a relationship. I will be very happy to read any of your responses. And of course, like this video and share it with your friends. Maybe someone who needs support will hear my story.